And so if you believe in the heart, if you believe the heart is the control system, one of your main goals is to be an instrument of seeing. S-E-E-I-N-G. Because until your child sees himself with accuracy, he won't have a hunger for help, and he will resist your wisdom and intervention as a parent. It's only when he sees himself and he sees, yes, I do wrong things, I do desire wrong things, I do think wrong things, I need help, that he begins to get committed to participating in the parenting that you're trying to do. Now, as I'm saying that, some of you are going to need to fight your cynicism. Because we have gotten so cynical in Western culture, we don't actually believe that a child could want to be parented. But that's what happens. As I function as an instrument of seeing, I give the Spirit of God an opportunity to begin to work personal insight and conviction into the heart of this child. And he begins to want to change. You got to hear what I'm about to say. This is hard. You have no capacity whatsoever to change your child. Zip, nada, none. Give it up. You got no hope ever of changing your child. No matter how well you act toward your child, if that child doesn't transact with God, he won't be okay. And your job is to set up that transaction. There was an old counseling joke that said, how many counselors does it take to change a light bulb? And the answer is one, if the light bulb really wants to change. There it is. There it is. So let me give you a series of 5 heart questions. This is very practical. This is street level. This is practical as it gets. You say, well, Paul, I don't know how to get at heart issues with my child. I want to give you 5 heart questions. They're not in your notes. This is free. These questions take seriously what we've said about the heart. They are a biblical way of thinking about how a human being functions, okay? And so the order of the questions must not be changed. You don't have to use these questions in this particular form, in the words themselves, but the order is important. Here's the first question. What was going on? What was going on? Just get some kind of telling of the situation. Don't worry about the fact of being biased. It's impossible for a human being to talk about a situation without talking about it with bias, right? If I took a picture of this room and you took a picture of this room, whose picture would be right? Well, probably a combination. But you always picture life from your perspective. So don't worry about that. Get a telling of the situation. Now notice the second question. What were you thinking and feeling as it was happening? What were you thinking and feeling as it's happening? What does that question go after? You can talk. The heart. Now, why is that the second question? Because we're teaching our children that no matter where you are, in every location, every relationship, every situation, your heart is always interacting. Your heart is an endless font of interactivity, that there's always interaction going on inside of you. That's what it means to be a human being. You're never passive. You're always interacting. You're always interpreting. You're always desiring. You're always wanting something. You're always wanting to avoid something. You're always putting things together. Your heart is always active.